Okay, hi. My name is Mohammad Ezaz, and I'm going to solve a challenge which is basically Node.js backend to develop a RESTful API for book management system. So the challenge is is to develop a RESTful API using Node.js for managing books. So basically, I have to develop the CRUD operations like adding a new book with title and the author and the summary of the book and listing all the existing books, and we can also find the details of uh, a book by its ID, and I can also update the book, and I can also delete the books. So I have to make the CRUD operation, and I have to create APIs for these operations. So for the database, I'm going to use MongoDB Atlas, not Atlas, MongoDB Compass local, and lastly, I'll include the in the readme.md file. I'll be including all the API endpoints and their uses and how to set up locally. I'll be adding in the readme.md files. Okay, so this is the challenge which I'm going to uh, solve. Okay, so let's get to the testing folder. Here I have created a folder called book management backend. So I'll open this folder inside VS Code. So open in terminal, write code dot, so it will be open on VS Code. Okay, and let's collapse all these files so that I can see. Okay, so here I'm I have created a file called dot prettier rc. So it will be responsible for formatting the codes like backspacing true, tab with true, etc. Okay, and I have added a .git ignore file, which is, and the files we should not move to the GitHub. So I've included in .git ignore file, and inside go to the and .env files, all the sensitive informations which I have to keep in. So I have kept in .env file. Inside .env I have kept the port and MongoDB URI, localhost URI. Okay, inside package.json, these dependencies I'm using to develop the RESTful APIs for book management. So the first dependency is cookie parser. So cookie parser is used to accepting the cookies from front end, and course is used to solve the trouble while using the APIs in front end, and .env file is used to fetch the env ports and MongoDB URI, etc. Yeah, like process.env dot port, and Express is used to create a web server, and Mongoose is used for data modeling and connect with the MongoDB. So these dependencies I am using, and the script I am I have created two scripts. First one is server, starting the server, or and day. So node src slash server.js. I'm opening the server.js file, and I'm also using dev. NodeMoon is a package which keeps me tracking, like whenever I changes in the code, so I don't have to restart the server. So for that I'm using I get it the script dev. And let's go to the src folder. Inside src folder I have structured well structured folders, like all the controllers will be in controllers folder, all the db connections, all the middlewares db. Inside controller folder, book.controller.js. Inside db index.js, the connection DB function has been written. And the middleware, I'm using two middlewares: catch async handler, which is responsible for handling the async await uh, errors, and the error middleware. So whenever we throw any error, so it will be responsible for this middleware. And inside model, I've created book.model.js, and inside route, book.route.js. Inside utils folder, I've created a class. I've created a class called error handler, extends from error. So I'm accepting the status code and message, and then I set to the error classes. So whenever um, okay, yeah. So first, when we start, when we write here npm run dev, npm run dev. Okay, why error capture text? Okay, let's remove this right now. Okay, so server.js, here the db connections. Here I've imported app from app.js. So app is basically the inside app file. I have imported express from express, and course cookie parser, and I have created an instance of express inside app and exported it, export default app, so that I can use in server.js. Inside server.js, there is a function connectdb, which will be responsible for connecting databases, and if it is successful, then the server is listening on port, uh, this port process.env.port. Okay, if this occurs an error, so console I'll be console these errors. So inside connect db function, I'm using the connection db connection function. Since connection connecting to the database, it may be sometimes pending or rejected, so that's why I use sync await functions. So I've created an instance await mongoose.connect. So there is a uh, third party library mongoose, which is used to connect the mongodb. So mongoose.connect, and I pass here mongoose mongodb url, and if it is successful, so I'm console here mongodb connected db host this. If it occurs an error, so I'm consoling here an error. Okay, so this is the function for connecting to the database, to the MongoDB. So I am calling it in server.js. If it is successful, then it start a server. If it errors, and consoling the error. And I'm also setting the path of env files, so that I can use correctly. Okay, .env index. Okay, I have created a constant.js file for the local variables like db name and etc. Yeah, inside app.js I've used some middlewares, these middlewares. So app.use course express.json. So it will be using it will be responsible for accepting the JSON object from front end. And I've also imported the routes, and the by default routes will be slash API slash. And I'm also using the error middleware. Error middleware is basically accepting the error, the first argument will be error, request, response, next. So status code and message. If there is an error, so it will be response, will response dot status code JSON, success was message. Yeah, and inside the book routes, there is a method called router of router. So express.router, so that I can create a route. The first route is router.route/book.post. This is a post method. Inside post, it is a controller for creating book. So go to the create book controller. So this function I have wrapped inside a catch async handler, which will be responsible for handling the catch async await errors. And I have to create a, title author summary inside MongoDB Atlas, MongoDB Compass or Atlas. So I'm accepting the title author and summary from request.body. And first check is that if title author summary is not present, so it will throw an error. So error handler is a class which is used for error handling. Okay, so I'll create a book with the title author summary. If it is okay, I save it and response to 01 JSON false and book created successfully. So the same way I created the get book by ID. So I can ID by fetching the request.params book ID. So inside the book route I have written here slash book slash colon ID. So this will be responsible for uh, fetching the request.params book ID. Okay, and getting all the books, update update the books, and delete books, and exporting these all these controllers. Inside the book model, I used title, author, and summary. And second object is timestamp, which is responsible for like where it is where when it is created, like created at, yeah. And mongoose dot model book and book schema. So this will be saved as a collection with the naming books in MongoDB Atlas. I'm exporting this book. So for that I'm using mongoose dot schema for creating schemas, and DB connection controller models, utils, API errors, yeah, app.js, yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah. So and lastly, in the readme.env file, I have written all the informations like the endpoints, uses, request bodies. Yeah, I've written all these things. So yeah, this is all about the for creating the RESTful APIs for book management system. Yeah, yeah, that's it.